cool down to that lower temperature and check it again. Anyway, basically what they do is they cycle it through a temperature change and check it. But that sequence 2 at the elevated temperature, they anticipate having more foam after the initial aeration segment of the test. But after, during the settling period, all that foam should dissipate. We don't want it in there. Numbers can vary. Again, the big thing is, anytime we're comparing data between one oil and another, we've got to have an apples-to-apples situation. The test methodologies have to be the same. You can't do it. Any perimeters that may be available in that test methodology, they have to be the same, tested under it, and the same units of measurement have to be in use there. Another thing to keep in mind, these are, you'll find that in the lubrication industry, most of the tests that are run utilize some, or they'll utilize some type of ASTM test standard. People think that there's no leeway in those standards or in those methodologies, okay? That the numbers there's no plus or minus. Well, there is. There is variables within the different methodologies. Let me pick one. A total base number here, 4739. There can be reproducibility. There can be a plus or minus 7% between two different labs. Okay, so there can be variances. We see the same thing for flash fire point or volatility. The reason why I bring this up is if you're ever out in the field and you get an astute customer and he's into oil big and they do oil analysis and he takes a sample of your oil and takes a sample of the competitor's oil and he sends them off and has them analyzed and gets the data back and says, hey, you said your oil had a total base number of 12.5 and the lab came back and said it's 12. You're lying to me. Your oil that I just tested is missing something. It's wrong. Well, no, there's variability in these tests. And according to these tests, that you can see those things. Don't expect the numbers to be perfect. Variability there. Okay, all this test data is really great. To be honest with you, when it comes right down to it, the old saying, the proof is in the pudding. Well, the proof is in taking a look at the equipment that has been running oil. Mechanical validation testing, something that's very important. It can give you a lot of data. It can give you a quick overview. Hey, the results look good, like in this case, or maybe something slightly less. Perhaps you want to compare them with a variety of different oils or formulations. You can tier them off into a good, better, best type thing. There are rating systems that you can go through that tend to be more accurate, but certainly this type of work gives you good insight as to what the general performance of oils are going to be. There's another way you can do it, or you look for technical studies that may have done engine testing performance and look for comparison information there. Actually, the best way is field validation. And most companies will provide field validation study on a variety of products, again, to provide insight as to any advantages the products may have on that. One thing that I always want to talk about is compatibility. All of our oils are designed to be compatible with, how do I want to put it, normal competitors, oils, other competitors, or competitive oils that are marketed to the same application, quote unquote, the same application. Basically what we're saying, if you were to mix our oil with a competitor's, pretty good chance that your radio is going to continue to work in your car, or your tires are not going to go flat. Most likely, there is adequate compatibility for them to be used. However, they're going to do a couple of things. One, they're going to, a competitor's product, because of the difference in chemistry that's used, is likely going to shorten the life expectancy of our product. Which is not a serious issue, but something to be considered. And it's likely to reduce the benefits and general performance of our product. We never recommend that you intentionally mix fluids. Matter of fact, virtually all oil manufacturers make the same statement. Never intentionally mix it. But there's adequate compatibility so that, at least for the short term, it is not going to create an issue. We also, like other manufacturers, don't recommend the use of aftermarket additives being used along with our products. Again, there can be a chemical situation that is going to have long-term effects on the mixture on there. It's just something to always keep in mind. Okay, on that particular note, we'll end this segment.